Have you ever reached the end of the day and wondered, where did all my time go? I mean, seriously, you wake up feeling motivated. You have plans, you have goals. Maybe you want to improve your English. Maybe you want to start a new habit. Maybe you want to change your life. But somehow, the day disappears. And at night, you're left wondering what happened. That feeling is surprisingly common. In fact, millions of people experience it every day. They start with good intentions, but by the end of the day, they feel like they didn't accomplish anything important. Exactly. And sometimes it feels frustrating because you're busy all day. You're doing things. You're moving around. But somehow, you're not moving forward. That's because being busy and being productive are not always the same thing. Many people think they need more motivation, but often, what they really need is more awareness of where their time is going. That's interesting. So you're saying the problem isn't always laziness? Not at all. Most people aren't lazy. They're distracted. And distractions have become one of the biggest challenges in modern life. I already feel like this conversation is about to expose my bad habits. Only in a friendly way. Today we're going to talk about why time seems to disappear, why so many people feel stuck, and how small changes can completely transform your future. Let's talk about the biggest distraction in modern life. I think everyone already knows the answer. Your phone? Exactly. And before anyone gets angry, I'm not saying phones are bad. I use mine every day.
Of course. Phones are useful. They help us communicate, they help us learn, they help us stay connected. But they can also quietly steal our attention.
That's exactly what happened to me yesterday. I picked up my phone to check one message. Just one message. Famous last words. Very famous. One message became three messages became a video, one video became 5 videos, and somehow an entire hour disappeared. That's how it usually happens. Time rarely disappears all at once. It disappears in small pieces. A few minutes here, a few minutes there, and suddenly the day is gone. It's almost like attention is a currency. That's a great way to describe it. Every day you're spending your attention somewhere. The question is, are you investing it or are you wasting it?
You know what's even worse than distractions?
What? The word later.
Ah, yes. One of the most dangerous words in the English language.
I'll start later. I'll study later. I'll exercise later. I'll work on my goals later.
And later sounds harmless.
It sounds reasonable. It sounds responsible. But later often becomes tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes next week. Exactly. And before you know it, months have passed. Sometimes even years. That's a scary thought.
It is. Because most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they keep postponing action.
So what's the solution?
Start before you feel ready. Most successful people didn't wait for perfect conditions. They simply began. Small action creates momentum. Waiting creates excuses.
That's powerful, because the perfect moment rarely arrives.
Exactly. And while you're waiting, time keeps moving.
I think one reason people delay things is because their goals feel too big. That's absolutely true. A large goal can feel overwhelming. For example, sometimes people say, I'm going to study English for 3 hours every day. And then they quit after 2 days. Exactly. A better approach is to make the goal smaller, much smaller. How small? Instead of studying for 3 hours, practice for 10 minutes. Instead of reading an entire book, read 1 page. Instead of changing your whole life, improve 1 habit. That feels much easier, because it is.
Small actions remove resistance. And once you start moving, continuing becomes much easier. So success isn't always about doing more. Often it's about starting smaller.
Can I confess something? Of course. Sometimes I spend an entire day doing tasks, answering messages, checking emails, organizing things, and at the end of the day, I still feel unproductive. That's because activity and progress are not the same thing. Wow, that sentence deserves to be repeated. Activity and progress are not the same thing. You can be active all day and still make no meaningful progress. So what should people focus on? A simple question. What matters most today? That's it. That's it. Because when everything feels important, nothing is truly important. I think a lot of people need to hear that, including me sometimes. Let's talk about perfection. Because I think perfection stops more people than failure does. I completely agree. Many people wait for the perfect plan, the perfect schedule, the perfect opportunity. Meanwhile, they never actually start. Exactly. Perfection feels productive, but often it's just another form of procrastination. That hurts, because it's true. Progress is more important than perfection. A small, imperfect action today is worth more than a perfect plan that never happens. So, done is better than perfect? Every single time. I think that's something everyone needs to remember, especially when learning something new, including English. One phrase I hear all the time is, "I don't have enough time." Yes. And sometimes that's true. Life can be very busy. Work, family, responsibilities. Exactly. But often, we don't need more time. We need better priorities. That's a difficult truth. It is. Because we always find time for the things we value most. So even 10 focused minutes can make a difference? Absolutely. 10 minutes of focused learning every day can change your life over time. Because consistency beats intensity. Always. The people who succeed aren't always the most talented. They're usually the most consistent. So after everything we've discussed today, what's the biggest lesson? That changing your life doesn't require changing everything at once. I like that. Protect your attention. Stop waiting for later. Start small. Focus on what matters. Forget perfection. And stay consistent. Simple ideas, but powerful ones. Very powerful. Because success isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built day by day, choice by choice, habit by habit. And every small action matters. Exactly. Your future is being created right now by the decisions you're making today. So before we finish, we have a question for you. What is one small action you can take today that your future self will thank you for? Write your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to Wonder English Stories. Keep learning, keep growing. And remember, small steps create big changes. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.